Can see 200 times better at low light than us. It's like night vision goggles on these animals. It's an amazing animal. It's awe-inspiring, really.
This is like watching an episode of Star Trek. Just seeing this bizarre creature billowing around in a sea of stars. It's something else. She's now down at 300 meters, way beyond where we can dive to, even with the most advanced technology. Soft-bodied cephalopods like the Humboldt squid are perfectly adapted to live at these depths. We're pulling her back up to remove the camera and then releasing her to swim back down into the darkness.
Okay, she's free, and there she goes.
After 6 hours of searching, we found just one squid, and the fishermen are heading home, so we'll have to call it a night. That's the mañana. Our first encounter with one of these alien creatures has been fascinating, but it's shown me how little of their biology we understand. Oh, look at that! With us on board is PhD student Hannah Rosen, who's trying to solve one of the squid's most intriguing mysteries. Do they communicate?
Humboldt squid are often found in these large groups, but we don't really know if there's any sort of social structure or if they're actually communicating with each other.
This species is notorious for its rapid colour changes, from blood red to ghostly white.
When the squid is completely red, you wouldn't see it. But when they flash to white, it becomes very obvious. You get this sort of, the squid is appearing and then disappearing. And that's another way that we look at it, as it's got to be some sort of form of communication, because it's the opposite of camouflage.
Hannah can recreate this stunning effect by sending electrical pulses to a piece of dead squid skin.
I'm just going to give it a little shock.
Oh, that's interesting. And it's not just localized. We've also got what looks like spreading ink in several different areas of the skin as well.
And we're still getting kind of a small response, so I'm going to crank this up to 10.
This flashing effect is achieved by millions of tiny pigment sacs in the skin called chromatophores. These are wired directly into the brain, meaning it can literally think its color.
They do it a lot when they're hunting. We see it when they're mating. But unfortunately, we just don't know very much about these squid because they're so difficult to study because they do live so deep in the ocean.
It's a chilling idea to think these predatory beasts could be coordinating their attacks through color. By getting in the water with them, I might have a chance to see this for myself. I think the group of animals that the Humboldt squid belongs to, the cephalopods, are one of the most exciting of all animals. There's so much about their biology that is beyond unusual. It's alien, it's insanely weird. And they're a group of animals as well that have a really important place in myth and legend. I mean, the tales of sailors bringing back stories of being attacked by giant squid, and modern tales of discovering things like the colossal squid and knowing that there are vast invertebrates longer than our boat down in the deepest parts of the ocean that are feeding on animals like some of the biggest fish, some of the biggest whales. They are some of the most exciting untold stories on our planet. And coming here to film Humboldt squid, we are touching a small part of that, I think. The next morning, and it's bad news. Our worst fears have been realised. A storm is coming. Scott, it's all looking nice and calm out there at the moment, but I understand that's not the way it's going to stay.
Yeah, absolutely not. The forecast is definitely showing for tomorrow some really good midday storm coming in and lasting a few days, as a matter of fact.
So, essentially, if we don't catch any squid tonight, then we've come to the Sea of Cortez for nothing.
They very well could be. Tonight's probably going to be, we need to plan on tonight being our last night here in the Sea of Cortez. Right now they're forecasting 26 knot winds, and 26 knot winds.
It's like 4.6, 4.7?
Yeah, 7 foot seas over 2 meter waves. We're not going to be out here squidding, that's for sure.
We've got just one day to achieve our mission and dive with the squid, so it's all hands on deck. We're dropping down lures from the boat to try and entice a squid up to the shallower waters. And we're keeping tabs on the fishermen in case they strike lucky. It's a long shot in daylight, but we've got no choice. We're running out of time to find the monsters that must be lurking somewhere below us. It's now early afternoon. We've had absolutely nothing at all. It's all starting to get a little bit frustrating. I think the only plan now, though, is to come back out here at sunset, and that really is going to be our very last chance to swim with a Humboldt squid. By 6 p.m, the light's fading, but it's still a sweltering 32 degrees. It is a phenomenally beautiful evening, but the sky tells a tale. These clouds do definitely mean that we've got very, very high winds coming in, so we're changing tack. What we're going to do is we're going to kit up in our chainmail suits straight away. We've got 4 separate pangas, the small boats, who are out fishing for the squid. They're going to start right now, and they're just going to keep on jigging. That is pulling up the squid lures and trying to attract the squid in. And the second we get a bite, Simon, myself, and Scott are all going to get in the water and try and swim with the squid. Once we've got our chainmail on, we are pretty much out of the game. There's nothing really we can do apart from just sit here and wait. It's unbearably hot, but it does mean we're ready the moment the fishermen find the squid. One of the main risks of diving with Humboldt squid is being dragged down at speed. We're going to be on a tether to the boat as well, aren't we? And that's proved very valuable for you in the past.
Well, it does a lot of things. One of them is that the squid grab onto their prey item and try to move it away from other squid competition. And in one case, that took me by the legs, about 2 squid, one on each leg and one on the hip. And they dragged me down so fast I couldn't clear my ear, and my right eardrum ruptured. So I just went down so fast. And so the power behind these animals is really almost off the charts.
That sounds like we have a squid. We definitely have a squid. We have them shouting from distance. Fantastic. Great news.
Good. I think
Okay.
it's time to gear up.
Let's go ahead and clear everything up the back deck, secure it up, let's go.
We have squid, so we're going to jump in the water and swim over and hopefully take it off the lure before it gets to the surface. This is my chance to see the Humboldt squid in its own environment and to find out what makes it such a ferocious predator. Richard's in charge of the dive and will pull the plug if it becomes too dangerous.
We're losing gas at the moment. Every minute he's sat here, we are burning up diving time, so let's get him in. Surface to Steve, surface to Steve. This is a comms check over.
This is so tricky! Trying not to get caught up in our wires!
But without them, we could be dragged down into the abyss.
They're very weighted with those chainmail suits on. I don't know how much water we've got below our feet now, but it's 500-600 metres, and in my book that's bottomless.
I'm very conscious in this darkness that the squid will see me before I see them.
They've got big predator animals who want to predate on them down there. There's just so many things to think about that it worries the life out of me. Scott has the squid. Scott has the squid.
Scott, let me get around the other side of you, Scott. The squid grabbed a hold of the front of Simon's camera straight away. I'm guessing that right now, Simon's seeing that parrot-like beak chewing right on the front of the camera. It's very, very sharp and powerful.
To avoid being bitten by its fearsome beak, we hold it by the mantle with both hands.
This really is a living sea monster. These beautiful fins at the front of the mantle are used for its normal swimming movements. It undulates them from side to side. You can see how thin the leading edge of that wing is. It's beautifully hydrodynamic. And the whole front end of the animal is like a torpedo.
Which allows it to jet through the water at speeds of up to 7 meters a second, 3 times quicker than the fastest ever Olympic swimmer.
My first Humboldt squid, and it's an absolute beauty.
I can really feel its power as I'm trying to hold on. There's no doubt in my mind this animal's a potential threat.
Let's let this one disappear down into the depths and continue its hunting. It's going to start almost flying.
The aquatic chameleon glides off, colours flickering down its body.
It's just like a hovering alien spaceship. Wow. There it goes.
Watching the squid dissolve into the murky depths makes me feel suddenly exposed and vulnerable.
Down there below us in the darkness, these sea monsters, the Humboldt squid, could well be hunting in enormous packs of animals, hundreds or even thousands strong. And any second they could come up from the darkness. Really is a spooky thought.
Mr. Divers, we have a considerable amount of squid action on another boat.
We need to get over to the action as quickly as possible. This could be the moment we've been waiting for, the chance to dive with a pack.
Ya regresa